Brothers and sisters, welcome to the Millennial Minded Podcast with Marquise
and Jeeah.
I don't even know what episode we are, but we're glad to be here.
We're in the 20s.
Somewhere in the 20s.
In our early 20s, the prime of our lives.
Don't you remember when you was in your early 20s?
I was so sold out to the Lord, I ain't do nothing but take care of my son, work, and go to church.
Yeah.
I didn't really miss anything, though.
I missed out on possibly prom.
I was pregnant at my prom.
That's one thing I missed out. I missed out on prom, even though at the time I didn't care for it, wanted to go. It didn't really mean much to me. But thinking back now, I kind of wish I had went to my prom. I don't think I missed anything too
much in your 20s.
Yeah,
I think I wish I would have got out and traveled a little bit. I didn't start really traveling until my 30s. So
we got older.
Yeah, but I took care of my child, honey, so no regrets.
Exactly.
20 years later, I ain't got no kids to take care of. Living my best life.
So welcome back to the episode, to the podcast. We got something to talk about on today. We'll talk about what's trending and something that Jeeah had proposed
that the Spirit of the Lord has been on my shoulders. I gotta get this out.
We gotta get this out to you, and I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. And yeah, it should be a good one. So without further ado, what's trending is one I saw is George Floyd, city of Minneapolis, 27 million settled. Lawsuit for $27 million.
Oh,
to that family, the George Floyd family. So I don't know what's going on with the officer.
Oh, I got that he's going to be charged with third-degree murder. He's still charged with first and second, but third degree is almost like a lesser charge. But they reinstated that back to him. Okay.
So I thought that was a step
forward
justice wise, settling it with that lawsuit. It still doesn't count for the life that was lost, but I'm glad the city of Minneapolis did that. Next was stimulus checks.
I heard they started dropping yesterday. People was on social media like, my workers called out, they got their stimulus checks.
Why would you call out of work when you got?
Listen, it's a Saturday morning. We ain't been stimulated since just like stimulated. Up and out. I know I was up at 8 o'clock checking Bank of America. Like, no, it's still my regular paycheck.
I checked my Capital One today too as well. I'm like, I still.
Some people got theirs because I got a phone call this morning like, Heifer, did you check your account? I was like, mine ain't hit yet.
So look for it. I saw that Biden said by the weekend the first wave was coming out. So look forward to that. I believe if you claim people, you get your $1,400.
Lord,
additional.
All y'all that got all them kids, y'all living a life of luxury with the stimulus. Y'all getting $1,400 per child. So you got 4 kids, you're getting what, 80 something?
God bless you.
8,000 something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So
I've been seeing a lot of information about stimulus, like a lot of jokes, guys. This is not a government handout. This is your money, okay? If y'all don't know that, every time you taxes out your check, every time you pay taxes at a store, every time they take whatever withholding from you, this is not a government handout. This is your money.
You saying we ain't got to pay it back?
No, we don't have to pay it back unless you are on some type of government assistance like welfare or SSI, SSD. You don't get the stimulus because you already get yeah. But if you are unemployed or if you are a worker making under $80,000, the government ain't giving us anything. This is your money. Let's be clear.
Okay. I believe I was still getting it, even though I was making well over the 80, but with bonus. So I don't think it counts for a bonus or
your
commission.
Base pay didn't.
Right.
Okay.
My base pay wasn't the 80 grand or whatever.
Well, you telling
before.
people how much money you make? Go ahead, Marquise.
My bad. My base pay wasn't the 80, so it was I myself qualified, and I got some extra dough. So I'm looking forward to that wave of stimulus coming.
No, me too.
I need a stimulus package. What else? Anything else you got trending?
I just wanted to touch on really quick. Did you happen to catch the interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry with Oprah about the monarchs? You scratching, so that means no.
I mean, yeah, it means no.
It means
My
no.
mom did tell me to watch The Crown on Netflix. I don't know if you watched.
Oh.
It's a series. It's about 4 seasons in, talking about the monarch and how they came about and all the stuff of Prince Philip, this, that, and that. Mm-hmm. So I am going to check that out on Netflix. But no, I did not catch the Oprah, the interview because I don't really care.
So I wanted to touch on some things in the interview, and then we're going to from the spirit of Prince Harry, we're going to get into some relationship stuff that I've been picking up the last couple of weeks. So in the interview,
Prince Harry's the one married to
Meghan Markle, the biracial woman.
Gotcha. Wife, okay.
His wife, yeah. So basically, her story is just her story. She was just giving accounts of some of the things that she encountered while in the palace. And to be honest, a lot of people are trying to discredit what she's saying was,
but why? Because she's just a wife.
Covert racism, because they're saying, this is not how the monarchy is set up, and she's misinformed. And one thing I want to say is that you can't discredit somebody's story from their own experience. You may not have not experienced it, or it may not have been talked about, but to outright say that she lying and she talking bad against she wasn't really talking bad. She was giving her own experiences, how they were having conversations about, okay, so when you give birth to your son, we have complaints, we have concerns of how dark his skin is going to be and stuff like that. And so to automatically discredit anybody from their story, I think is wrong. And the fact that they're speaking up is bold.
It's brave.
So
that's against the monarch and their image. So I do credit her for doing that interview. Was the husband with her?
Her husband was with her, and her husband her husband said, listen, some of the stuff that my wife is going through is the same things that killed my mother. So at this point, I couldn't protect my mother as a 12-year-old boy when paparazzi was chasing her and family members was against her because she left the palace as well. Princess Diana. Okay. He said, but I'm going to protect my wife. And I'm going to protect my wife against everything. So that led me to listen. And I seen it on social media as well. Like Prince Harry left the whole palace.
Everything.
Some of y'all won't even leave a block. Listen, if my husband don't protect me like Prince Harry is, he's not a prince anymore. As Harry is, he gave everything, the titles, the security, the money, the position, everything. He gave up. The money. He is excommunicated.
How is he paying for the stuff that
they have media deals and stuff like that yeah.
Okay.
So different things, yeah.
Okay, that's
as long as his name can bring in some type of
income.
Yeah.
That is cool. I respect that he left all that behind to
protect his wife.
Protect his wife.
I'm wondering, would y'all be as mad at him for protecting his biracial black wife, or if he was protecting a regular Caucasian English,
Wait, people
woman.
Are mad about that?
Well, America gets it, but in England, he's getting a lot of backlash because of,
she's biracial.
No, not because she's biracial, but it's just like they have this hierarchy of the Queen and the palace and Buckingham, and how dare he go against his family, and like, why would he do it? And so the nation is a little split as to you did this for a woman or you did this for a black woman. Is she worth it? And he like, yeah, she worth it. Y'all ain't doing this to my wife.
Yo, I respect that. The other brother, I don't know his name. I heard him say that my family is very much not a racist family. Do you think there has to be some type.
I mean, they was grounded in it. It's what 400. They have servants, and they have to just going back into the history of it. There has been always some racial superiority when it comes to black and white. Let's just be clear on that.
Absolutely.
The fact that they have not overtly said it or made any epithets or any inclinations, maybe not. You haven't heard them call her names, but she actually was sitting next to people that were uncomfortable with her being there, and
it's basically engraved in.
Yeah, it's subliminal.
Subliminal.
It's subliminal.
I was talking to a guy on Instagram that's from London. He's black, and we're just chatting about his podcast, his channel, and stuff like that. And I was just like, "Yo, do you deal with the racism that you hear about across the pond in America? Do you guys see that?" He's like, in London, not so much, but just outside of it,
UK,
it's subliminal. It's, you just feel it, the way you treat it, the way they talk to you, but it's not like outrightly like, get out of here, blackie, or something like that. Yeah. But it's just engraved in, because like you said, 400 something years, whatever the case may be, they've actually been in power longer than 400 years. I think America is like 400, 500 years. Europe has been there even longer and established this separation between classes, between rich and poor and race, etc. So it's good. It's going to be much harder for that stuff to get eradicated, but you will feel it. So I kudos to the prince or the ex-prince,
Harry.
Harry and his brothers William.
Yeah,
with Kate
Middleton is his wife.
Okay, have they spoken up in support of their brother, protecting his wife, etc.?
As of now, not yet, but I did in the interview. You did hear Harry saying his brother is, because his brother, based on the lineage and how the crown is going to go, his brother will be next, and his brother's children will be next. So a lot of people were saying that, Meghan Markle only had this interview because she found out that her son would never hold the title, and her son was never in the line to hold the title unless William didn't have children, and then it would go to Harry. So he was never in that line. So to make it like, she just mad because her son won't ever be a prince. It was just
they want to discredit her because, she's biracial.
And then she's speaking out.
What about her parents? What are they saying?
Her white father said that they would not, he didn't see any racism.
He did not see
He does not think that they are racist. But again, it's different. They will treat you different than they are treating her. They don't have to deal with her white father that live in Mexico. They got to deal with her black behind walking and next to Harry. And so I just said it to say, don't discredit somebody's story because it's something that's unfamiliar to you.
I agree. You should be able to listen to others, validate their opinions or feelings, whatever the case may be, and then get down to all right, what it is. But just the outright, no.
What y'all need to do is do an investigation as to whatever allegations. She's not really alleging anything like, anything that was catastrophic. She just was like, I got to get out of here. And her husband was like, well, then we going. So, but the right thing to do is to see where it came from, to who it came from, where the conversations was had, and then to say, okay, maybe you weren't saying racist things, or maybe, but some of your behaviors to her. So how can we fix this? If you're not a racist, or if you do not think that you're superior to her, because she was saying some stuff about the brother's wife, Kate, their differences. So Kate may not say I'm a racist, but Kate may say, you can't have my daughter
wear that dress in my closet,
or my daughter is not going to be your flower girl with another black little girl. Stuff like that. It's like, you got to be careful because you may not be racist, but you got some tendencies.
Do you feel like you are racist towards any group in particular?
I think we all have our biases.
I think we all do.
And I am acknowledging that I do have biases that I have to work on daily to not become cynical and racist, but I'm no tolerance. I have non-tolerance for any of the bull crap. Like I won't call anybody any names, but
me either. But
yeah, I ain't sitting back.
Towards me and my friends, we talk about certain things, races, I guess, that we have our biases against, and stereotypes that we have found to be kind of true throughout dealing with certain groups. So I always try to remind myself, like, yo, everyone has a little. Yeah,
I know for sure. I got to deal with, because to me, there's some. This is just my opinion. An angry white woman is the most terroristic person you can encounter as a black man. That goes back to history.
I can see that. Wait, why do you say that?
Because a lot of times, based on my research and my history from slavery and on, when you had willing workers or people that were willing to, accept their position as a slave in the slave houses and whatnot, it only took one allegation from a white woman to I mean, so everything. It wouldn't really be a master as a man alleging something else. When it comes to the nation is built to protect
the
white women. And that's something that I'm conscious about when I encounter Karens or when I encounter and I see things. And I have white friends, I have white people I work with. I'm not at all, but I know that there's a disadvantage between me and the average white woman because of my skin.
And Emmett Till will be, I think, an even perfect example that this lady that has now said she lied about it. Now says she lied about whatever, I think it was a whistle or something, that got this young boy killed and beaten up and all that stuff.
Disfigured. And it wasn't a whistle. It was because he had a speech impediment.
Exactly.
He had a speech impediment.
Exactly. And they went to town on this young man because of what one lady said. And I don't know if there was even an investigation. They just took it and that was it.
I mean, if you look now to the men that's been exonerated for 23 years and 37 years, a lot of it stems back to, they found my DNA and I wasn't the one that. So I know that bothers me.
Yeah.
Because I'm still doing research and I'm doing research as part of my education. So I have to keep in mind that I'm seeing this story again. I know how it makes me feel. Yeah. So I got to be conscious to when I encounter people, anybody that's angry, but I know for sure if I'm standing next to a angry Karen or angry white woman and the cops come, I know I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage.
Of course.
And you guys can't blame me for that. Even if you do, I said what I said and I ain't taking it back. But
now shouldn't they go back, like the lady that lied on Emmett Till, shouldn't she be charged for something, for lying in court or to police, whatever the case may be? Because, look what they did to Cosby. They went back, 40 something years.
Of course.
And they got him. How is she, scot-free admitting that she lied about it?
I don't. The Central Park Karen that called the cops on the black man and said that she was being assaulted. They dropped her charges too. Like she got community service. She wasn't criminally charged for doing what she did. Knowing that, police come out with biases and you're innocent white woman in the middle of a park claiming that you're being attacked by a black man, his life is already he's already, a threat.
Yeah.
You threatening his life just by that one statement. And don't get me wrong, false statements come from everywhere. Black, white, brown, Mexican, Spanish, Indian, people will be people at the end of the day.
Yes.
I'm just saying my history shows where the influx came from.
Okay. So look, from those statements and the interview from Oprah, I know you wanted to go into, I don't know if it was an arranged marriage or you want to talk, where'd you want to go from
Okay. So thinking about what Harry and Meghan, the dynamics of their relationship and the dynamics of their marriage. And it just had me thinking about marriages and relationships and everything all at once. But since I had a couple of free time, I've been dabbling into reality TV. And guess what I stumbled upon? Married at First Sight. Baby, when now if I find out anything on this show is scripted,
which I believe most of them are.
I think some stuff is scripted, but you cannot be this much of a jerk on this show to come out.
Of course you can, for ratings, to get people like you and others to watch it. So I'm going to put this script in, right? Make sure this person is being a total jerk a-hole. And for the viewership, we're going to get paid. Everyone's going to win.
But is it necessary to put myself out there? Because, okay, let me give you the dynamics at Married at First Sight. A lot of y'all already watch it, but me and Mark, I've been sending Marquis stuff for 2 weeks now because we took a break last week. So I've been sending him stuff like, look at this. So Married at First Sight, there is this one couple that caught my attention, and that is the African-American couple, Paige and Chris. They are both, Christians, and they both signed up for the show, and they both were matched by the matchmakers, and their pastors
personalities and all that
personalities, stuff. Income, everything. They seem to be a perfect match. And on the show, you only get to see your husband and your wife at the marriage ceremony. So,
okay.
Chris is up there, and in walks his wife, and the first thing that comes out of his mouth is, "Oh, damn." And then they have him in the background saying, "The first time I saw her, I immediately knew that she is not normally the woman that I date. She looks nothing like the women that I date." And this beautiful black queen is smiling from ear to ear, walking down the aisle, not knowing that this jerk.
Why is he a jerk for stating his opinion when his first reaction when he saw this woman walk down? Why is that a jerk?
In lieu of embarrassing this beautiful black queen, I would have kept some of that stuff to myself and not aired that on national TV. He humiliated her on national TV. Okay. And so she walks up, they get married, they say they nuptials, and then they both go to each other's families to meet the families, but they go separately. And as he's talking to her bridesmaids, he's telling her, on paper, Paige is the woman that I need, but not the woman that I necessarily want. And her friends are looking like, what does that mean? And then he goes back and he says, I am not 100% attracted to my wife. He says she's beautiful in her own right. I'm not saying she's not beautiful, but I'm not physically attracted to her. But she do got a fat old, and just
okay.
He was like, that I like, but nothing else.
Okay.
And so Paige does not know this. So she's in there, eyes wide open, until the night that they get to either consummate their marriage or they get to wait. And the night he's saying to himself, well, maybe if we consummate the marriage, maybe the attraction will come.
Okay. You try to get to know her in ways beyond knowing someone. Okay. And he thinks that was going to change.
And they consummated the marriage twice in that night. And by that morning, it was like as if he wanted to vomit because he could not believe that. I guess he went through with it. And they didn't really go into whether it was good. I'm assuming it was good, because why would you do it again the next morning? But anyway, that's when he tells her, I'm not attracted to you, that next morning. And she's like, wait, what was last night? So sis is caught off guard. So my first question to Marquise is, because you on the hot seat because you're a man and you're the closest man that I've been to all week. So you gonna get it. And if you don't answer right, Paige, this is for you. But everything that Chris has put you through, I'm taking it out on Marquise.
Lord help me. Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus. Okay.
Would you ever marry a woman that you were not physically attracted to?
I would take it a step further and say I don't think I would even sleep with a woman that there's some type of attraction to that person.
Now y'all see why I love him. Now I thought he was gonna come somewhere else because I'm locked and loaded. But you wouldn't even consider sleeping with somebody that you were now
some type of attraction.
Of attraction. Now, when he said a couple of days later, he starts to say, now he playing on her mind and her emotions, because now he's saying, I'm falling in love with the God in you.
What?
Like her, because she really loves the Lord, and she was doing stuff like, I think our stars were aligned and we have matching tattoos.
That ain't the Lord right there. That ain't the Lord right there.
She's really like, I think this was meant to be. And now, and after she finds out that, of course, he's not attracted to her. She tells some family members, she calls some friends and was just like, he just told me that he's not attracted to me, and it's that and the fourth. And some other things came out of their relationship. But I really wanted to delve into the attraction part.
Can men sleep with someone that they're not attracted to?
They can sleep with.
Yes.
They will definitely. A man, listen. If I could tap this screen, listen to me.
Yes.
A man does not have to be physically attracted to you, because once it's up, it's up, and it's stuck.
Well, no, wait. It can be hard to get it up, though, if you're not physically attracted to someone either.
But once it's up, it's stuck.
Yeah,
exactly. So he doesn't have to be physically attracted to you in order to sleep with you. But a man will not marry you if he is not physically attracted to you, unless there's something he getting out the deal. Now, if he an immigrant and need paper, sis, you going down that aisle within 24 hours. If he homeless, you going down that aisle within 48 hours. Okay? If he broke and you his security blanket, you'll be married by the next day.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
But the real man will not marry a woman that he is not physically attracted to.
I have to agree with that. But there could be other stipulations, though. So you may not be physically all the way attracted to her.
Okay.
But she might offer this, and she might offer this and that, and she does this well and does this well. And you know what? I can look past it. I had a friend.
Okay.
That told me himself, is my wife the best looking? No. But she does it for me. She just does it for me. She's not the looker, but she does this for me, and he names some things that she does, and it just works out for him. And he loves her to death, does anything, does what he's supposed to do, protect his wife and everything like that. But has straight out told me, she's not the whatever prettiest. She's not a looker, as he said. So there's other things besides physical attraction that can make you marry someone.
Okay.
But like I said, not even like I couldn't do. What's that girl? That artist name? I think it's Lizzo. Big. Did I go somewhere?
You may want to tread lightly, but go ahead. It's your preference, but go ahead.
So I'm not physically attracted. I couldn't, touch her. I can touch her. I can do it. There's nothing that she can do for me. Or I won't even go that far. Certain groups of people, like I don't find them attractive.
Okay.
Certain groups of people. Okay. So yeah, but I don't think physical attraction. Like I feel like you can still marry someone.
What about Lizzo would make you say I wouldn't be able to touch her? Is it because of her weight? Go, you can sweat all you want to. I mean, you.
I'm scared. No, I'm joking. I just don't her weight. I just don't find her attractive. I feel like she owns her weight.
That is attractive in itself. A woman with so much confidence that she just embodies, like she embraces who she is. She embraces her beauty. She embraces her size. She embraces her intelligence and all of that. That to me, but I'm another woman. I'm not a woman that's trying to get with her. So I get where that don't mean a hill of beans to a man.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, some of that doesn't
cool,
mean
though.
a hill.
Yeah, that's really cool. I think her music's dope. I think I'm proud that she does have the
embrace,
embrace. Yeah, but
she's not for everybody, but that's fine. You can have your preferences.
Right.
The thing about having preferences is they need to be justified? No, because they're your personal preferences, right? They don't need to be justified, but they should make sense. They should make sense. It really shouldn't be superficial. It really shouldn't be superficial. And then it also leads me to say, because we covered this topic in a couple of episodes where it was Will I Ever Find Love, about physical attraction and touch and all of that stuff. But as relationships and things come up, we revisit things and things come back to us. Will spiritual attraction supersede physical attraction?
Man,
if my husband came to me and said, Jeeah, I love the God in you more than I love the physical attributes in you.
Break someone. That's not cool to even say. I don't. That's horrible. I always said I feel like you need both, man. But I do feel like spiritual connection or attraction does kind of supersede. I feel like it would, and I feel like it would enhance it. The more y'all pray together and fast together and do spiritual things together, I think that will enhance your overall intimacy. Period.
Okay.
So I think it would actually increase the attraction and the desire for your spouse. The more you guys are spiritually connected.
See, I think women we have it harder because I think women are able to look past being physically attracted to some men because one, if they're a good provider, you don't care how good they look sometimes. Sis, if you down and out and he can provide and protect, it's like, I don't care how he looks. But men are not really going for that. And I'm not saying all men are looking for trophy wives because I know y'all sick of marrying airheads. It shows. I know y'all sick of that, but like she should bring something to the table. But to openly be out and say, like,
how that women super. I feel like women look past the looks more than.
I don't believe we are as superficial as men when it comes to things like that.
So you think men, when it comes to physically attracted to someone, we're superficial with our feelings? Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes I think it's more with men than with women. Not that it can't be both, but it's more with men. Like, I mean, you can just see by people who are in relationships, and you can look at however you want to look. It's International Women's Month, so I'm just here sticking up for the women. I'm sticking up for the sisters, the mommies, the Karens. As a woman, now we supersede all of this that's going on now because I think we've been being put in places and positions as women that we don't deserve, and it's still really hard for us to come from under. And so I just wanted to bring light on that attraction, and bringing light on it, I got some warning signs.
Listen, is it superficial when a woman is attracted to a guy because he has a nice sports car?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Just making sure we're on the same page.
Absolutely. Since that sports car ain't gonna put spaghetti on your dinner table at night, like, and if he's all wrapped up into the physical things, you'll know what he's looking for, because a lot of people are looking for the look. Yeah. You know, some people are looking for the look, and that's okay, but you got to know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You got to know what you're getting. And it's the same thing with men, because a lot of y'all find these, Instagram models and different things that y'all are really looking for, like a woman that's sold out to, how she looks in the exterior. And then y'all take her down the aisle and bring her home and find out the last book she read was Cat in the Hat.
Oh, God, can you imagine that?
And the only thing she can cook is spaghetti and eggs, and she only clean once a week. That's all that. But what were you looking for when you were attracted to this? What were you looking for? The physical? Because some women will say, "Listen, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do this, I don't do that." Yeah. And then there's some men that say, I can't be your all in all for your provider. You gotta bring something I can't take care of you, your mama, your kids, your nieces, and I'm not doing all of that. So I think it should be mutual. I think a mutual attraction will supersede. But when it comes to expectation and relationships, I think when it comes to that Married at First Sight with Chris, he should have took a step back and been totally honest before he slept with this woman.
First of all, they should have took 10 steps back. Why are you getting married at first sight to begin with? Why are we doing arranged marriages to begin with? I think that society frowns on arranged marriages as a whole. Maybe some countries do, and we're not knocking it. That's your prerogative. In this country, we don't really do arranged marriages. You want to fall in love with someone that that you genuinely love. So why are you even on the show to begin with? That's my first step.
So it is reality TV. So that's what I say. If anything comes back scripted, which probably some of it is, but I don't think
it is. Yeah.
Would the woman be? Do you want fame that much to show the world that you have been embarrassed and humiliated? Because, 3 days after they got married, his ex-girlfriend called and said, I'm 7 weeks pregnant. And he turned around and said, I know we've been married for a week, but I think I still love her. I don't want anybody else raising my child. I'm going to go ahead and go back to her. Wow. And she was just left there.
Wow.
And
so
why did it have to be one of us?
So to answer that question, how many people have sold their soul for riches? Too many to name, too many in the media and entertainment business. Just people on social media would do anything for fame. They will put Gorilla Glue in their hair for a bunch of likes. So would you do it for, unfortunately, yes, they would be embarrassed on national TV, on Netflix, for that paper. Not saying that's what happened.
No, yeah, I get it.
But yes.
To be compromised that way. So do we take away really the sanctity and the sincerity of marriage?
Yes, we just did.
Of marriage in order to
you watch it.
I do watch it.
Yeah, you support it. I
don't support what that guy did. I saw red flags
at first sight. You support it. You watch it.
I watched it. Yes. So I don't agree with everything that's going on. I wouldn't personally sign up.
Do it. I got you.
I wouldn't sign up. But what he did is nothing new under the sun. We're still dealing with men doing stuff like this to women, and women doing this to men as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're still doing this. So absolutely. I'm just saying, when a man loves you, he look at Prince Harry. When a man loves you and you are called to be this man's wife, and first of all, it don't take 3 years for a man to know that he loves you and wants you to be his wife. So study shows that a lot of men can actually say, I knew she was going to be my wife when I first met her. And then some people, but you will rarely see, oh, it took 3 years for me to actually find out if I wanted to marry her. Sis, if it take her more than a year or 2 years, it don't take 3 years for you to find out if you want to marry someone. Now, if you want her to be a long-term girlfriend or you want him to be a long-term boyfriend, that's a whole nother thing. But it don't take long. I'm not saying that y'all have to get married, but to know that this, it don't take long to say, no, that's the one.
I don't know if I'm going to talk to some men on this one. I don't know if I agree with that statement because maybe initially or within a year you knew, yo, that's when I want to.
Yeah, within a year.
And then
3 years, no.
And then stuff happened or things change or you saw some more stuff come out and you're like, whoa.
Oh, yeah, no, well, you definitely don't know somebody until you live with them. Or until you marry them. That's for sure. Things are going to happen. But as far as like who the core of this person is, you know what type of material you're working with.
We got to ask the fellas that question.
You go to a store and you buy silk. You know what type of material silk is. You know the longevity of silk. You know how it feel. You know what to wash silk will. Okay. Exactly.
Okay.
So we can agree to disagree.
Right. Which I understand why you
But what about when it comes to a man's perspective? Are there like red flags that men need to look out for to say she not wife material or
I don't know. I feel like every situation or person is different. So I don't know. You just got to be I would just say you got to be on guard, though. That's the only thing I can say. You got to be diligent and be on guard, be watchful and be prayerful because things, certain things may happen and some things may pop up. And yeah, I would just say be on guard. That's my best advice.
I don't want to have to be on guard.
You do because you have to protect your.
You do have to be on, but there's some things that you look out for instead of being on guard. Look out for. Okay, yes, ma'am. When in a relationship, when the last time your significant other told you no? If y'all don't have those difficult conversations where she can say, no, I don't think that's good for us. Or he can say, no, babe, we can't do that. But if everything that y'all talk about is an automatic compromise, you know that she only compromising or he only compromising until they get what they want. So she said, yeah, no, like the Coming to America arrangement, whatever you like, whatever food you like, whatever store you want. Sis, you ain't saying no to nothing.
I think that communication, being able to trust someone, being able to be vulnerable with someone, and being able to, like you said, not talking to an airhead.
Yeah.
That can actually, I think we talked about this before, actually pour into you. I think those are all things that are, at least for me, important to me, and I'm sure important to men, because you want to be able to trust someone with your deepest emotions, I guess. As deep as all that stuff. Being able to say no to you or have those difficult conversations, like you said, that's going to benefit the both of you in your future. Yeah, she has to be able to speak her mind and not just yes all the time. I agree with that.
Or challenge your opinions or challenge your thoughts.
Yeah.
Has he ever challenged any thought? Is he, babe, whatever you want to do? I don't really have nothing to say about that. That's not my. I recently had somebody that was interested in me, and we're not going to stay long, but he was interested in me, and I was interested too. But after like the first date and a couple of text messages and phone calls, I had to step back and say to him.
You said to him?
To him.
Okay.
Initially, I just was like, I'm not going to reply no more. Let me just let him, do him. And let me just keep. Okay. And then he was really persistent. And then I had to have the hard conversation to say to him, listen, what I am expecting from a man, it would be selfish of me to ask from you. Because he was a little bit young. Because he is not a little bit younger, but he was a younger man. And I said, I know what I want from my husband. And because you are a younger man, it would be selfish for me to ask you to give me all of this, and I know you're gonna wait. I know I'm gonna be worth the wait. But for the things that I want from a man, it's selfish of me to ask that from you from right now. And he was like, you know what? I understand. I respect that, but keep me as an option. And I thought to myself, like, yeah, that is really mature, but why would you wait around to be my option?
That's very profound. That you.
I don't want you to wait around to be my because I may not be worth. I know what I'm worth, but you, I may not be worth all the headache that you're gonna have to go through to get it.
Gonna be some. I can tell you that right now.
Listen, so that just brings me back to, being sincere in and I was physically attracted to. I told Marquise, I said he was 6'5", girthy, just like I like him.
Linebacker, lineman build. Okay.
Nice young man. But I was just like, let me take a step back because I know what my long-term goal in a relationship is. And I'm willing to sacrifice short-term goals in order to reach long-term goals. A lot of people are not, but I'm at that age where it's like, I don't need anything that bad that it's worth dragging somebody through to get there. So with that relationship advice, with the Prince Harry and sacrificing his family, and men will sacrifice for their wives.
They should.
Women. If you got a man that you got to continuously go over childhood trauma.
Wait, what do you mean go over childhood trauma?
I mean, because
his childhood trauma,
your trauma, like if that's
what you signed up for.
That's
if y'all married, you're talking about, right?
If y'all are married,
okay,
y'all gonna have to go. There's gonna be so much trauma that you're gonna have to deal with. But could you imagine having to relive your wife's childhood trauma daily?
For
because
better or for worse, that's what you said, brother.
You got to become equipped before you bring that will bring a man down. That will bring a woman down. If I can't be your mama, your wife, your therapist, your cook, I can't be all of that at one time. That's gonna drain me. Some of that stuff I need you to get out of your system before you put that ring on my finger and walk me down the aisle. I need this to be a collaborative effort on my part.
Okay. Yes and no.
Okay.
You have to, that person 100% agree with you, needs to deal with those things before they get married, before they give you that ring, etc. Work through all of those things first, so you're not putting a bunch of burden on your partner. However, there's going to be a time when you're going to have to be the psychiatrist, and you're going to have to be the therapist, and then you're going to have to be the wife, and then you're going to have to be the mom. You're going to have to maneuver those roles, and so should he. He's going to have to be able to listen to you, coach you, whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
I think you both have to be able to do those things to make this work. But deal with all those traumas that you mentioned before getting into relationship or marriage, because you don't want to burden someone either.
I think maybe Prince Harry should have had, they should have really considered before he brought this woman into it to be abused and to be treated that way. How do y'all feel like as a family? She's coming in. Do we need some sensitivity training? Like there's some things that you training. And of course, cultural training. Make sure your jokes are not discriminatory, just things like that. And I think as we move forward, because people have, they come in marriages with, again, trauma, children, family issues, mama issues, daddy issues. So you're not going to be able to lay everything out on the table. I agree with you with that. But we can't continuously be fighting and pulling this train. That's where you see a lot of marriages dissolving. Now, to the fact that this man had to walk away from his family for his wife is commendable, but should he have had to walk away from his family because of the way that and then with attraction, fellas, I know it's not going to be easy. Women, it's not going to be easy.
We like what we see.
But just let them know this is just physical. I'm okay with being told the hard truth, because it gives me the option to say, okay, well then we just gonna be physical. I mean, I wouldn't personally do it, but give me the option. Don't have, the flicker in your mind. It's just like, girl, I know you my wife, but I don't care a bit more about you because of how you look. And I think that
I agree.
Yeah,
the hard truth. Don't leave the person on. Just tell them this. What I think there's a Prince song that said that I'm mainly attracted to you. Just mainly a physical thing. Just shoot straight, and people will respect that more. I've seen it. You just tell them this is what it is, and it's much better for everybody.
Listen, you can hook up with whoever you want to. You can hook up with whoever you want to, but there's a responsibility when you marry somebody. And there's an uncomfortable truth that will be told, and it's going to come from different perspectives.
Deal with your trauma beforehand, but you don't get it all out.
Don't dump it on your wife or your husband.
Don't dump it all on them. Yes. But try to help them navigate through it. You might have to be that therapist on Monday and then husband on Tuesday. Well, I guess that all falls under husband. Yeah. Husbandhood and
husband. That's why I told my little young thing. Like, you know what I would expect from you? You got to do this, that, and you still in your 20s. That would be unfair to me. I wouldn't do that to you.
Was he up for the challenge though?
I mean, I didn't lay out exactly because I didn't want to run him away. And I kind of gave like the open window, like, we can still be cool. Let's go shoot pool, hang out. He was like, I don't shoot. But like I think he was physically really attracted to me. And I want somebody to be physically attracted to me, honey. But, and I was physically attracted to him too. But again, long-term goals. Yeah. I'm sacrificing short-term because I know in the end, that physical attraction, the maturity that I would need him as a husband, I don't think that was in him. No. And I ain't got time to wait.
And you did the right thing. You let him know. So, okay. That was good on your behalf. Commendable.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Anything else?
Tuning in. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to do some sensitivity training with Marquise and see where his underlying trauma about big women lies. Because Lizzo is the bomb.com.
Heard she lost weight, actually.
Doesn't matter if she probably got the best. See, that what trumps everything. Exactly.
She might, but not for me. That's my preference. Not for me.
I secretly believe that it has nothing to do with her physical. It's all about her being that strong, confident that you're not used to.
Nope, not at all.
Yes, it is.
Not at all. I appreciate your feelings, and I will validate.
You know how many people told me I look like Lizzo?
What? For real? No. Confident like Lizzo, sure.
Well, like, no, I don't give off Lizzo vibes. No. I mean, I give off Jeeah vibes. Let's be clear. I ain't trying to be. And speaking of International Women's Month, before we leave, because it's been hard.
We're not hating on women. We support women. Okay.
That's why I did this, because relationships and women. But I've been seeing an influx of us that's addicted to celebrities for International Women's Month. So y'all been posting Oprah and Gabrielle Union. Listen, next time you post for International Women's Month, make sure you post your mother that's been working 12-hour shifts to feed you, and your aunt that's been helping watch your kids, and your grandmother and your sister and your stop posting these celebrities for International Women's Month and recognize the women that you got sitting right beside you or in the next room. Yep. Like, we got to get it together with stuff like that. We glamorize and idolize these celebrities, and you sitting right next to your woman and you post let Oprah Niece post her herself for International Women's Month. You post Nana and them.
Yes, totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
That was just I had to get that out of my system.
Okay. Yeah, that's what the podcast is here for, you to vent and get out what's in you, release. and share your insight with.
Do we have a question for next episode?
About something was somewhere along the line. I talked about. We got to ask the fellas about. I don't know. I forgot what it was about attraction, or I forgot what it was. I'll go back and watch and see. I'll post it though. I got you. Something with us that you had presented. I don't know if it was attraction. How long it takes for you to know that this is who you're gonna marry. That's what it was. I got to get some millennial males. I don't want to hear from baby boomers. I don't want to hear from Gen Z. Millennial males, because at this point you don't hear a lot of millennial couples that's been married for 10 years and 15 years, because we're at the prime of our lives now. So for millennial males, it don't take a millennial male long to say. I saw, okay, he's not a millennial, but one guy I looked up to that said the Lord told him, yo, be careful what you say. This is your wife. And then they got divorced. After 20 years, right? Wasn't that Israel or somebody? I don't want to say the name, but yeah. Oh, yeah. And he cheated on his wife and had 4 kids. Girl, 4? Or 2, 3. Oh, well, once you cheat, and have 1 kid, that's multiplied times. So he had about two kids that's out of wedlock to this woman that the Lord sent. Marquise, go ahead and open up those can of worms. And you look up to him too, don't you? I did. I really did. That let me down. That lets me know that people, you know what I mean? Don't put people on a pedestal. Everyone is flawed. Everyone. The person I think so highly of, I have to remind myself, yo, they're flawed. They have something. I mean, I see it. But there's something there. Something, yeah. Just don't expect too much from people. People, we're human. Yes. That's what it comes down to. That's what I've learned watching these people that I looked up to more or less fall. Oh, yeah. Myself included, and et cetera. Oh, et cetera. Yeah. I mean, we all have those stories. I just don't. I think we're in a point where we're not settling no more. And if you, some of y'all that are in relationships, you wasn't chosen. He just settled for you, sis. Okay. You was easier to play with and manipulate. That's what that was. And that goes to the same for men. That won't last. No. It won't last. So if that's the case, 100% that won't last. You need to be built on love and honesty and trust. Some attraction physically, all that. Spiritually. That's even more. Mentally. Emotionally, can she support you emotionally? Can you support her emotionally? Are you attuned to their thoughts and their feelings? And come on. Do you want to say this? Maybe it's not the time to say that, or throw this jab at this time. You got to be able to be attuned to your significant other. Ooh, well, look at Mr. Sensitivity. I went to sensitivity training. You about to get some more. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in to Millennial Minded Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at millennial.minded. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and share with your loved ones, friends, neighbors, whoever. Share with everybody. And we'll catch you next week. Yes. Next episode. God bless you. Bye. Bye.